welcome everybody on the YouTube as well to Warcraft Reforged. We are on the 4th campaign, the Orc campaign, the invasion of Kalimdor. As we can see, we've done the Exodus of the Hordes, which is the setup. We have Prophet Medivh telling Thrall and the recently liberated Horde that they must sail west to the ancient lands of Kalimdor, where interestingly enough we actually found out that Kalimdor was kind of hidden from the world. Then we got the Scourge of Lordaeron, where the young Prince Arthas sees the lands of Lordaeron infested by Kel'thuzad, the Cult of the Damned, the Plague, Necromancy, Zombies, and of course the Dreadlord Mal'Ganis, who taunted Arthas to follow him to Northrend, where the Prince picked up Frostmourne, returned home, and took out his father. Then the Path of the Damned is where Arthas has given up a piece of his soul, and now ironically he is serving the very forces that he was trying to fight against. He gathers the urn of his father, the remains of Kel'thuzad, brings him to the Sunwell, and resurrects Kel'thuzad as a Lich. But that was only the start. Kel'thuzad was then working for Archimonde, summoning in the Burning Legion. Archimonde's invasion has begun, and the world of Azeroth will have to rise up and stop this, or the world will be forever gone, destroyed by the Legion, Sargeras, Archimonde, all that good stuff. So here we are, the Orc campaign, and of course the Orcs have a massive history with the Burning Legion. Back on Draenor, they were living peaceful lives, they were living in tribes, very, you know, chilling. Occasionally coming together during the Kush Ark festivals. Your audio sounds a little funny, like it's mono. Is my microphone a bit too sensitive? Really? I was asking at the beginning, hang on. Where was I? Oh yeah, the history of the Orcs. So Orcs living on a whole different planet called Draenor, where they were living kind of peaceful with the Draenei. And, you know, they were living in clans, coming together occasionally during the Kush Ark festival. Very, you know, primalistic, honoring the ancestors, honoring the elements. And then Kil'jaeden found the Draenei again, because they got a whole... Because they got a whole history with each other, where Kil'jaeden, Archimonde, and Velen were offered a spot amongst the Burning Legion. Kil'jaeden and Archimonde agreed, Velen disagreed, took the Draenei, ran away, crash landed on Draenor, and now they were stuck. And Kil'jaeden, he was very upset about all of this, has been chased in the Draenei through the Great Dark Beyond for a very long time, and eventually he found them. And this time around he was like, you know what, I'm not gonna go in myself because they just keep running away, let's corrupt the Orcs and use them. So the Orcs were introduced to Fel magic, they stepped away from the elements, they started to magically age their children, they started to come together under the banner of the Horde, they drank demon blood, they enslaved themselves to the Burning Legion, and the world got corrupted, their people got corrupted, the Draenei were nearly wiped out, but then what? Well, Kil'jaeden left them to their fates. And the Orcs started to turn on each other. There wasn't a whole lot of water. You know, hunting grounds weren't exactly great. So what were they going to do? Well, Sargeras had use of the Horde. Under the guise of Medivh, right? Corrupted Guardian Medivh. He made contact with Gul'dan. They opened up the Dark Portal. And the first invasion, Warcraft 1, became a reality. So a lot of history for the Orcs with Archimonde, with the Burning Legion. That past is coming back to them. Now for Thrall himself, he didn't directly witness the corruption of the people, but he most certainly felt the effects. He has heard the stories, he knows about Doomhammer and Blackhand and his parents, Durthan and Draka. And Thrall, he does not want his people to fall back in the darkness once more. Chapter 1, Landfall. Following the mysterious prophet's instructions, Thrall led the Horde across the Great Sea. Now, after weeks of traversing the raging seas, the Orcish Horde has landed upon the savage shores of Kalimdor. With their stolen ships broken and drowned, the Orcs cautiously venture inland, wary of the unseen dangers lurking within the crags of the desolate land. And we land at the Barrens. Just above we see Asheville Forest with Razorfen Downs. I was gonna say Razorfen has been moved lower, but I'm pretty sure that Asheville Forest has been moved higher.
War Chief, our ship sustained heavy damage when we passed through the raging maelstrom. It's unsalvageable.
I knew it. Can we confirm our location? Is this Kalimdor?
We traveled due west as you instructed. This should be it.
Very well. Has there been any sign of Hellscream or the other ships?
No, War Chief. Not since we got separated.
Prepare to move out. If our comrades did make it here, we should be able to find them along the coast.
Yes, War Chief. Discover where the other ships landed. Thrall must survive.
The War Chief.
So just let me know if game sound effects are too high as well, if I need to lower those for my voice, or if it's all A-okay, easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Dabu.
Includes the Troll special map, or just the Frozen Throne? What do you mean, Troll special map?
For honor.
And I can only cast Chain Lightning. Wait, what is that? Oh, this is... Okay. It's the pile of bones as we land in. Alright. Where the trolls fight the Murlocs and the stuff? I have no idea. I got some Murlocs here. Are these the Murlocs we're talking about?
Dabu. Yes.
So at this point...
For honor. For honor.
Thrall's journey was quite an interesting one. Like, he liberated himself from the internment camps. And, as you mentioned, he did see the lethargy of the orcs within the internment camps. He definitely knows the suffering of his people. But what it means to be an orc, what it means to be part of the hordes, I mean, he grew up in internment camps. Like, all he saw was creatures that looked like himself, but he couldn't even understand the language. Up to the point where I think at some point there was an orc that, like, yelled at him in a strange language. He did not move, he did not do anything. And he remembered the words. So later on he asked the other orcs, like, so-and-so was said to me, do you know what it means? And they were like, yeah, he was telling you to run. He was gonna hold off the guard so you could run away.
For honor.
This is one of our ships, War Chief. It must have been smashed against the rocks in the storm.
And for Thrall, growing up in the internment camps, like, it was darkness.
Yes.
It was... The only thing he had was, like, Drifa Foxton, who was kind to him.
Took place here. The clay is red with fresh blood.
Is there nothing in this land but dust and carnage? Dabu.
But that was about it. The rest was just, you know, I mean, Sergeant, maybe.
Those hideous creatures are the bodies of horses. Loktar Ogar!
Oh, they killed the Tauren. Oh.
For honor.
So I do think Thrall speaks Orcish with a human accent.
For honor.
That is a really good question. I mean, honestly, language is a funny thing to consider. Considering we got Common, but all of a sudden everybody just speaks Common all the time. Even in times where, like, we're just go into a new zone and it's like, you speak the common tongue, what is up with this? But I think it's also a matter of...
Those pig creatures are unlike anything I've ever seen before.
A matter
At
of...
least they're prettier than the humans.
Haha. A matter of letting us go into new lands and actually communicate with the people around instead of having to deal with that section. But in essence, like, if you walk into a Gnoll camp, is it acceptable for the Gnolls to be able to speak Common that you understand them? I don't know. You could also explain it by, like, mages at some point were able to learn all the languages with, like, arcane intellect. Perhaps in general, the languages have been spread out, and now just a lot of people know how to speak a lot of different languages.
For Doomhammer!
Yeah, night school, yeah.
Your time has come.
But I think in general it falls down more to not something we'd consider. In the sense of we could just communicate with each other, right? But yeah, Thrall liberating himself and actually reconnect to the orcs, it wasn't instant, you know? He kind of had to prove himself. Yes. Like, he ran into Gromash in the Warsong clan. And they were old school orcs, right? They were very much like Loktar Ogar, kill all the humans. Yay. Still very much like the Horde of the past.
Yes.
And Thrall showed him a different path. And Gromash, after so many years...
Chieftain, this wreck has been abandoned for quite some time. Perhaps the crew has survived and is around here someplace.
The one who drank demon blood for the first time, or was the first to step up to drink the demon blood. He was like, yeah, this young Thrall shows us a different path. a different future. And they were willing to go with it. And then there was Doomhammer. Doomhammer was the war chief of the Horde, taken over from Blackhand after the whole corruption of Gul'dan and whatnot came to the forefront.
Thanks for saving us, man. We should hurry. The pigmen say there were other ships nearby.
Doomhammer was also a friend of Duratan and Draka. And at first, Doomhammer pretended to be like a random-ass orc, just insulting Thrall, right? And he wanted to see how far would Thrall go. Would he just be a doormat? Would he just let anybody walk over him for the sake of peace, for the sake of, you know?
For honor.
Or was there that fighter spirit in there? Was there an actual orc waiting to come out?
The horsemen are slaughtering those bull creatures. I led us here to escape senseless conflict. Now it seems we're surrounded by it.
And of course, Thrall would show Doomhammer that he was more than capable of fighting. You know.
Yes.
He would definitely
Dabu.
let his fist do the talking from time to time. But there was also brains in there. There was more than just savagery.
For honor.
Which all in all, eventually led to Thrall taking over as War Chief of the Horde, as Doomhammer was speared down by the humans. And yeah, Thrall wants to cut out something new for his people. Which also led to a bit of controversy, especially with Garrosh coming back into charge. Garrosh was very much a mirroring of the Horde of old. In Garrosh's mind, the Horde should not beg or plead or bargain. The Horde should conquer and take what it needs. So while it was very nice for Thrall to be like, yeah, we're gonna set up in the deserts of Durotar.
Thrumka, War Chief. We knew you'd find us.
Thrumka, warrior. I'm glad you're all safe. Were you part of Hillscream's group?
No, War Chief. We were separated in the storm. We only just arrived.
And we're gonna live here some sort of penance. There were also plenty of orcs that were like, yeah, but I wasn't part of the original Horde, or I have nothing to be ashamed of or to pay penance for. It's fine that you want this War Chief, but this is not my calling. And that caused a bit of a rift.
Yes.
Between those who agreed with Garrosh and those who agreed with Thrall. And what's interesting is that a lot of the older orcs that are, you know, that were part of the Horde, that had seen it, like a Sourfang or like an Eitrigg, they understood. And the orcs that did not, like a Garrosh, that only lived in the stories and the history and the tales of what the Horde was all about, they wanted those days to return. Interesting dynamic to see. Zua, you got a hand grip strength training tool. Nice. Congrats. Yeah, that's bouldering as you were doing. What a strength that you got. Oh, we actually need to go. I thought we could just go this way. There we go. All right. Up more.
The horsemen look as if they're dressed for war.
And so what's happening here, as I'm, you know, talking about the days of old, we're being introduced slowly but surely to the Tauren Centaur war that's been going on. The history there is that once upon a time, there was Princess Feredra's, daughter of Ferazane, that you might know from Maraudon. And she hooked up with... Oh, son of Cenarius. What was he called? Sadanar? No. The guy that's also in Maraudon. Staff of... Cenarian? No. Rod. Cerulean Rod. Anyways. Zaatar? Alright, cool. Zaatar. She hooked up with Zaatar. And from their union, there came the Centaur. But the Centaur were a little bit hostile and they murdered the dad. And,
For honor.
they didn't exactly live peaceful with those around them.
Dabu.
So the Tauren would often find themselves in conflict with the Centaur. Now the Tauren at this point in time, led by Cairn Bloodhoof,
Dabu.
they are nomads. They're living from place to place. They got like a caravan going on. They're not stationary. But soon that will change, as destiny has found them as well. Dum dum. Oh, my Shuhalo hates the horse butts. Huh. It's crazy to think what was actually considered like a massive threat at the day. I'm still confused why for Dragonflight they decided to invent a whole different kind of centaur. And then pretend like nature just repeated itself. Because the centaur on the Dragon Isles are not the same centaur. Oh god, what was it? I think they went with the reasoning that the centaur always existed. And then the ones that we see on the Dragon Isles are like the original centaur. And then the ones we come across later from the union of, that's like nature repeating itself. But if you look at like what story they gave to the centaur of the Onaran Plains, it's like... You could have given that to pretty much a new race as well. Why did you have to bring back centaur? Oh. It was a thing. Convergent evolution. Is that a thing? All I remember is that they said that because it happened in nature once before, it happened in nature again. It was somewhere in that direction.
Yes. Dabu.
A Dabu.
Yes.
Who are we fighting? Hello! Are you part of Grom's crew?
Ah, War Chief.
Hello.
Well met, warrior. Has there been any sign of...
The horsemen are charging! Defend yourselves!
Loktar! Loktar!
Wasn't it like the centaurs on the Isles were explicitly called by Onara and somehow carried there before the Sundering? Yes. 2 seconds. Hi, Cairn!
I am Cairn, chief of the Bloodhoof Tauren. You greenskins fight with both savagery and valor. I am intrigued. I am Thrall, and these are my brethren, the Orcs. We've come seeking the destiny promised to us. Seeking destiny? It will find you in time, young one. However, there is an oracle far to the north which might be able to... North? But there's an army of the horsemen marching north. What? What? Oh no. No. My village is in danger.
Quick, Cairn!
I must know more about this oracle. Follow them. Protect Cairn at all costs.
Can I tell them to defend something? I don't think I have that ability.
For honor.
I believe you're right, by the way, with the Onaran call. But if memory serves, the timeline doesn't line up because the centaur between the union of
Dabu,
Zaatar and Feridras came after the Sundering, if I remember right. But I would have to double check.
Yes. Yes. Dabu.
Ooh, what are those? Oh, those are huts. Oh, right, okay. It's your wee little village. Hello, village. Warn Cairn about the Makura.
For honor.
Heal the Tauren! Heal the Tauren!
For honor.
Yo, Cairn, listen, right? If you see
We've
McGuffle...
arrived in time. The next wave is advancing. Yes.
Just be careful, right? Don't forget about the whole keep your enemy close kind of deal. If you see her bless the weapon of your enemy, maybe ask yourself, what's happening here?
For honor.
You know, just maybe. Fiamma. Fia family. Howdy, everybody. Welcome. Coming over. I am being raided by the family. We just ran into our good old friend Cairn Bloodhoof, who is still very much alive.
Here they come again.
And the Centaur are foolish enough to challenge Thrall and the might of the Horde, as they foolishly believe that they can take the Tauren from us, but we will defend them to the very end. Welcome, everybody. That's alright. That's right, Shadowbot. Just bars through the door, like, hello, everybody, I'm here. Oh, sorry, my mic. I shouldn't scream. Ha! I'm using like a direct input for the microphone right now. I'm still wibbly wobbly with the sound settings, technicalities and all that. Because if I use my in-between box, I got like static on the line. I need to sort it out at some point.
Ah, they've brought a champion with them this time.
Ah. Whatever will we do? Oh, I have a talent point. I don't have the mana for it, but I could definitely summon some wolfies now. You ever play Warcraft 3, Fia? And Alias. Thank you for the not so casual 80 months of subscription. Still blows my fucking mind that we have those kind of numbers just popping up. As the Centaur kind of murdered my entire party. I should have gotten Karen involved as well, huh? Oh well, they gave their life for a good cause. Karen, the trolls died for you, buddy. I hope you'll remember this in the future.
Your tribe is safe, Old One. Thanks to you, young war chief. But the Centaur drove off all the game in this region, and I cannot allow my people to starve. Soon we must head north to the verdant grasslands of Mulgore.
Those weapon designs look sick,
And
though.
you fear the Marauders will overtake you.
Yes. The Devil's speed cannot be matched upon the plains.
Well, if you tell us how to reach the Oracle you spoke of, then my brethren and I will escort you on your march.
I am intrigued by you and your people, young thrall. You are more than welcome to join us.
They definitely move their mouths. It's just not a whole lot. It is not a whole lot. So that is how Karen and Thrall met each other. This is gonna sound stupid, but I mean, you're more than welcome to ask questions. And if they are stupid, then you'll just get a good old answer to it. Is there Alliance and Horde of Warcraft 3? Whenever I see clips, it's always Thrall. So, howdy, Marcy Bets. Thrall is the Horde. That's basically what it comes down to. At this point in time, the Horde, the first Horde that invaded Azeroth has been defeated and thrown into internment camps. And then Thrall, who was raised as like a slave gladiator, he liberated himself from those internment camps. And then he went around liberating the other orcs, and he like reformed the Horde and he set out. So what we see right now with Thrall and the orcs, that is the Horde. This is the founding of the Horde as you know it in WoW. So we just met Karen Bloodhoof and the Tauren. Those are going to be the original playable Tauren. We're going to meet Sen'jin, spoilers, we're going to meet Sen'jin and Vol'jin and the Darkspear Trolls. Sylvanas and the Forsaken are going to become a thing. So the origin point of the Horde in World of Warcraft is based in Warcraft 3. A lot of the things that you see go down in World of Warcraft is based in Warcraft 3. Which is also why it's cool that you actually played this one as well, Fia. The Reforged one, like the new models and whatnot, is kind of cool. I wish they'd done more with it, but it's kind of cool. So your Horde, which is mental when you think about it, it kind of depends on when you joined World of Warcraft. If you joined it with the ending, or with the Cataclysm, then your Horde is the one that was led by Garrosh Hellscream. But if you joined it after Mr. Pandaria, then your Horde is the one led by Vol'jin. Or if you joined WoW during the end of, or during the start of Legion, your Horde would be the one led by Sylvanas. And if you joined WoW at the end of the Shadowlands, then the Horde is led by the Council. So as you can tell, the Horde has gone through quite a few changes over the years. I'll let you decide if they were good or bad. But they've gone through quite a few changes. Uh-oh, did I break the game? Oh, here we go.
This land
Nice.
is rugged and beautiful, much like the place from which my people originally come.
Yes. We Tauren have always held a great respect for the works of the Earth Mother. There are far worse fates than living freely upon the open plains, young Warchief.
Perhaps. But my people deserve a land to call their own, Cairn.
War Chief, we've spotted a herd of marauders bearing down on us.
Cairn, the Kodos are overburdened and must rest. Why don't you remain here and protect the caravan while we search for a suitable oasis?
There's no need to coddle me, boy. I may be old, but I'm not helpless.
I freaking love Karen, man. Such a shame. Such a shame.
I am the war chief.
Alright, lead him to the first, lead him to the second, lead him to the third. Fraucairn and the caravan must survive. And it doesn't look anything like... I mean, it's not a one-on-one representation. But in the Barrens, there are definitely little oases like this.
Yes.
Especially with like the Cataclysm revamp. But even back then, you had like little small ponds in there. Think also like the Wailing Caverns and stuff like that. But it's most definitely not a one-on-one.
Defensive positions. Loktarogar, let none stand in our way.
We saw a map earlier as well, where Ashenvale was way closer than it was originally. So yeah. Is this a mod or is they redid the cutscenes? This is Warcraft 3 Reforged, in which they've updated the models. So the in-game cutscenes with the models, they look a little bit more HD. They also added recently, I want to say recently, they've added the option of doing this in the original graphics. Although it does require like its own save file. I can't change it like in Diablo 2 on the fly. You need to pick up before the campaign, but you can most...
The Kodos must be protected.
Oh, snap! But you can most definitely decide in what graphics you want to play. Unfortunately,
Shall not catch the Tauren unprepared.
the actual cutscenes for the game have not been updated. Now, when they announced Warcraft 3 Reforged, that was already very much of the mindset of why would you want to reforge Warcraft 3? Like, it still plays wonderfully. It stands the test of time.
Yes.
But they were talking about, oh, yeah, you know, we're going to do... we're going to update the storyline, so it's going to line up more with what you've seen in WoW. And we're going to do the updated cutscenes and this and that. And that stuff, unfortunately, never went anywhere. There were a lot of...
have returned. We're under attack.
There were a lot of production problems, apparently, with Reforged.
Yes.
Oh. Do I need a scroll of healing? Nah, not really.
Your time has come.
Which is a bit of a shame. Which is also where the whole Warcraft 3 refunded meme came from.
Look, Naros.
I want to say meme, but more like, you know, this is what we're doing now. Because a lot of people were so unhappy, they were like, I want money back. And Blizzard obliged. They did give their money back. But then over time, like, for me, the whole Reforged situation was like, for the campaign, it was perfectly playable. Yes, some of the difficulty was a little bit unbalanced. Like I mentioned, the whole Purchase Raffle was a little bit too spicy in hard mode. At least for me. But the bigger issues lied within the online gameplay. And in that part, they had like an active online community that still played Warcraft 3 to this day.
For honor.
And they find themselves with the issue of, okay, you've reforged Warcraft 3, you've reforged the game that I really liked, and you've broken stuff, and it's not working proper, and in that regard, there were a lot of issues when it comes to Reforged. Unfortunately. But there was a lot of drama around it as well. Like there was... I think Dota came out of a Warcraft 3 mod.
Orders attack again. Stand and fight, my brethren.
Dota is an extremely popular game mode. Like, people still play Dota to this day. So Blizzard were not gonna let that happen again. They were not gonna have like such a successful game thing slip out of their fingers. So they decided to update the user agreement to state that if you make your own custom map, then that still belongs to Blizzard Entertainment. And obviously people were like, yeah, but hang on a minute, what? That's not cool. Hello. Hey, Warsong Clan.
Warrior. You're from the Warsong, are you not?
Yes, War Chief. Hellscream sent our party to find you, but we were separated when the horsemen attacked.
Don't worry. We'll find them. For now, drink from the pool. The spirits of this place will replenish your strength.
Politically very incorrect maps out there. They're now property of Blizzard. Yeah. I still need to read a book called Play Nice, which goes into the inner workings of Blizzard Entertainment. I got it ready. I just need to make some time to actually sit and read it. I'll probably do it actually this Thursday, Friday, because it's gonna be delicious weather outside. I might actually do it this Thursday. The weather is gonna go crazy, apparently. Hopefully. Get a bit of sunshine, a little bit of vitamin D in there. And read about the shit show that was behind the scenes. It's always interesting. LOD Rogue. Long time no see indeed. How you doing?
Dabu.
And ladies and gentlemen,
Dabu.
avert your eyes or take it all in. 133 months. Fucking 133 months. Never stop, LOD Rogue, yeah. Please never stop.
Yes.
Let's see how high the number can go. So are the Tauren just gonna chill there? Are they just gonna chill there?
Hold your formations. The Kodos must be protected.
I'm just gonna move up here, yeah? Really good, but in my opinion, does it cast Blizzard in a very charming light? Nah, but... Like, it's... When reading stuff like that, like, it's always gonna be from a point of view.
Hail,
right?
War Chief. How may we serve you?
It's the experiences of somebody who worked there, and if you talk to someone else,
Let's
then
get on with it.
you'll hear their side of things. But it's just... It's interesting to get a glimpse into the kitchen, I would say. You know, casually subscribed for 11 years is crazy, ain't it just? Ain't it just?
Lokrigar no gal.
Like, it's cool to see insight into the kitchen, because the other day, I think Bellar tweeted about this, or retweeted, I should say, where Bobby Kotick was going hammy about how he asked Chris Metzen to come back and work on their properties, and Metzen refused, and basically, like, Bobby Kotick does not like the reputation he left the company with.
The Kodos must be protected.
And yet, I would, like, that's something that I'm trying to wrap my mind around. And this is something that happened over the weekend as well, right? Like, if I had so much money, I don't think I would concern myself with these petty little things. But apparently, the more money you have, the pettier your problems become. Y'all remember when freaking Musk started to be upset about Asmongold calling him out for having someone else play his Diablo account? Like, that's the timeline we live in these days. That, if I had that much money, I don't know, man. I think I would be spending my energy elsewhere. I honestly think, but that is their ego. Absolutely fucking ego.
For honor.
Come, sisters. It's been too long since we feasted on Outlander flesh.
Ooh, these Harpy models look cool, though.
Ladies. Once my wolf riders bring you to the ground, you'll have little chance against us.
Squeakums, hello.
The spirits are restless.
So,
Yes.
I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about the Harpy lore on YouTube anymore.
The spirits are restless.
But yeah, the Harpy lore is kind of messed up. Especially when you
Let's
go
get on
into
with
the
it.
ways that they reproduce. You don't want to be near the Harpies, let me tell you that much. The new
Yes.
models look cool, though.
For honor. Dabu.
Their image, and then we go to war to retain the image that you want. Yeah.
The oasis at last.
Do you think Bobby trying to get back Metzen like the Sourfang and Thrall? No.
Those could be useful.
No, I'm thinking more like Gallywix, like, hey, you wanna make some money? Sorry, the microphone. Hey, we can make some money! That's more...
I am the war chief.
Sorry. Oh, that was the worst Gallywix you've ever heard.
Hold your formations. The Kodos must be protected.
But that's how I imagine that one. Ooh, nothing good ever comes out of Silphus. Oh, fall back.
Dabu.
You're welcome.
The spirits are
This is indeed Reforged. Yes, it is.
Lokrigar no gal.
Alright, you go for that tower, you go for that tower.
Let's get on.
So for those who have never played this before, by the way, this is RTS. Real-time strategy game. Basically the foundation of World of Warcraft as a whole. A lot of storylines, a lot of characters that you know from World of Warcraft come out of Warcraft 3. If you've never played Warcraft 3 before,
The spirits
would
are
highly
restless.
recommend. Highly recommend to check out.
Let's get on with it. For honor.
Going into Moneylands, yeah. And in the case of Metzen, by the way, I think Fia actually recommended me this one. There was a podcast which mentioned it about anxiety when it comes to the job.
I am
And
the war chief.
something that I never really... Like, I always thought that they were very outgoing and very
Yes.
thriving on it. Because that's the image that they portray, right? But there was...
Formations. The Kodos must be protected.
There was a lot of stress, obviously, behind it as well. Going on stage and be like, is this product gonna land? Is this the one that they're gonna hate?
This pass leads straight to Mulgore. But I fear the caravan will be overrun before it reaches the other side.
Which I thought was really interesting to hear about. Again, it's the whole peek inside of the kitchen to see what they're going for, what they got in mind. It's interesting.
I am the war chief. For honor. Yes.
Yoo-hoo.
For honor. Lokrigar, Nokal.
Hopefully not too much splash damage.
Let's get on with it.
Nah, we're okay.
Dabu.
Dabu.
For honor.
Karen's picture of Reforged is really weird. Is it? Why?
The spirits are restless. Dabu.
Yeah, and it's also I'm of the mindset that there's no developer out there that's actively trying to put out a
Yes.
bad product, right?
Yes. For honor.
That doesn't mean that the product itself can't be criticized, but it's not like going after developers is always such a bad
I
take.
am the war chief. The oasis at last.
Come on, Karen, have a little sippy sip. It's magical fountain water.
Lokrigar, Nokal.
We're under attack!
Oh, no, not the catapults.
I am the war chief. Let's get on with it. Dabu.
There we go. You want to get Reforged someday? I never played. The only reason I know the lore of anything that took place before WoW was your videos. Hey, you really should, Anna. Would recommend. Bonjour.
The caravan will never make it in time.
Let the fury of the Earth Mother deal with these wretches as they deserve.
Get him, Karen.
They
What a
will
lad.
trouble us no more. And you, young war chief, are free to continue your quest.
To the Oracle. What is it?
Legends say that it saw the strands of fate as they were woven by the Earth Mother. It alone can show you your destiny.
Where will I find it?
Far to the north, near the shadowy base of Mount Hyjal, lies Stone Talon Peak. You will find the Oracle within the peak's hollow. I will send my finest Kodos to aid you in your journey.
Thanks, Karen.
Thank you, Cairn. I will not forget you.
Go with honor, young war chief. May the Earth Mother smile upon you.
Yeah.